Good morning, good morning, good morning. Opa. Good morning. Morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. So today I'm back at it. All right. I'm back at it. I got my jars here and I'm going to be labeling them. So I'm going to be cleaning up the dust. I'm cleaning off the dust and then labeling them, as you guys can see here. Right? Clean off the outside, the inside, and just label them nice and nice. All right, I got my big roll of labels here, as you can see. My big roll of labels, and we're gonna go ahead and have a fun time. What's up, Henry? What's going on, Travis? What's going on, Manuel? Derek? Good morning, everyone. Let's go ahead and get to it here. All right, I got all those jars there, and let's begin. Let's find where the little crease is. Put that off to the side. And we're back at it. Happy Sunday, everyone. There we go. Is that good? And voila. Fresh jar with the fresh label. There it is. All right. Next. What's going on? Good morning. Happy Sunday, Isai. Good morning and happy Sunday. What's up, Billy, Jacob, Harry, David, Ozer, Amin? We got everybody. We got the TikTok here. We got the Instagram here. We have the YouTube here. Good morning, everyone. Hope we all have a great day. Good. All right, that's it. Next. Yeah, you know, this would be a lot easier. The thing is with jars, or at least these jars, is that they're not perfectly even all the way around. So every jar has little imperfections. So if I were to use a label roller, which I bought one and then had to return it because I realized this after I bought the label roller, you have to apply a certain amount of pressure in order for it to actually go through, because it's like there's like very minor divots throughout the glass, and each jar has different divots, so it's very inconsistent. And so you have to literally analyze each individual jar to make sure that it's perfectly even. And they're not major, but it's major enough that a little machine can't handle it. But if I have enough money to reinvest, which I should, hopefully, I will definitely be looking to do something like that, buying like a more advanced label applier to these jars. Good. What's going on, everyone? What are we doing for Sunday? We hanging out with the fam? Making a nice breakfast or a nice lunch or dinner, whatever part of the world you're in right now? You want to know about quality assurance? This is quality control at its finest. What's going on? Dust, Mova, Shiehava, Adnan, Nissan, Richie, Adder. We got Ty. We've got Clint. Clint in the house. The homie Clint. Clint Dempsey. How was that? Nice. All right. What's up, Christy, Milad, Justin, Claudia, Dominka, Unique Essence. What's up? Welcome to the live, and thank you for joining in on this beautiful Sunday, being inside my garage. The launch for my brand new product, you guys, my brand new brand, brand new product, Kuras. If you want, you can check it out. Just go to KOVRAS.com. We are launching my first ever physical product, which is a high hold matte finish hairstyling product, which I have in my hair right now. Gives you a nice high hold matte finish, made with 100% all natural, hair healthy ingredients. And there's only 6 ingredients throughout for the entire product. There's only 6 ingredients in this product. So not only is it's a 2-in-1, right? It's a hair treatment and it's a hair styler. So it's a treatment and a styler at the same exact time. So it treats your hair and gives it all the moisturizing and conditioning and health benefits that your hair needs. And it also has rosemary essential oil, which is good for like hair regrowth, as found in a 2015 study. So if anyone has, issues with their hair, like thinning, and potentially want to help it, stay or at least potentially grow back, rosemary oil has been found to be very similar in effects to minoxidil. Rosemary is also in my product. So if you guys want to check it out and not just take my word for it, you can go over to my website, KOVRAS.com, Kuras.com. And I also have these scientific research studies linked on the homepage with each of the 6 ingredients that are in this product. So you can literally do all the research right there on my website. I'm not trying to hide anything. This is transparency at its finest, because why not be, honest and truthful with business, right? That's what business is for. We're here to do good business and create win-wins for everybody, right? If I've been able to find really high quality ingredients, which is what I use for my formula, and it helps with your hair, the growth of your hair, the conditioning, the moisturing, and just styles it at the same time to give you the hold that you need, then it's a massive win-win for everybody. And I'm only in the business of creating win-wins for everyone, right? Because that's how God created everything. He said, let the waters bring forth, and the waters brought forth. And God said, let the earth bring forth, and the earth brought forth. Talk about win-wins for everyone. God's got earth and the waters as his teammates. So we all need to work together to succeed and, do the best that we can. Plus, you know what? Since we're formed out of the dust of the earth, guess what we're putting in our hair? The dust of the earth, or, earth. We're putting earth on earth. There we go. Next. Oh, what up, Amco? You were here yesterday. What's up, brother? Hope you're having a great day. Yeah, man, my day basically just started a few hours ago. Hope you're having a good day too. Thank you. What's up, Gina? What's up, Hasim? Rahul, Alex. We got Olivier, Fabio, Den. Is that good? Very good. Oh wait, what am I doing? Grab the jar first, Alex. There you go. Good job. Matt on Instagram asks, how often do you cut your hair? So I cut my hair every 2 weeks. So that's why you see on my YouTube channel that I post new haircuts every single 2 weeks, because I cut my hair every 2 weeks. Otherwise, I would probably cut my hair more often or post more often if I could cut my hair more often. But, it doesn't make for much of a video if you cut your hair every week. So I cut my hair every 2 weeks. That's good. Quality assurance, baby. Let's go. Good question. Den says, hi, bro. I like your videos. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I like making them for you. Did you watch the fight last night? Kamzat won. I did not watch the fight last night because I was here working instead. And then as soon as I finished working, I went right to bed. I took a shower and went straight to bed. And here I am again, back at it. Was it a good fight at least? Was it like long? Was it, I don't know. What makes a good fight? A lot of hits, a lot of defense. Costa, what's up, brother? Do a buzz cut again? Question mark. At some point, yeah. But first, I've got a product that I need to promote to help you guys out and, give you guys a high quality, all natural product with only 6 ingredients that we can all pronounce, right? So at some point, I will give myself a buzz cut again. But as of right now, I need longer hair, obviously, to keep styling my hair to show you guys how to use the product. But at some point, yes. I'm thinking whenever I decide to create like a hair conditioning like spray, like a tonic, like a regrowth, like a hair growth spray, or like a dropper, that's when I'll probably buzz it again, and you'll see me like massage the oil onto my head and whatnot. But that's going to be in a different season. This is the current season that I'm in. Yeah, my cousin's name's Costa. And then my dad's middle name is Constantinos, and that's my grandfather's name is Constantinos. Costa. Gus. We've got Vid, we've got David, Jovine, we've got Christine, we've got Destroyer, Izan, Radim. Welcome to the live. I'm just sitting here putting labels on all my products, on my jars. Not my products, I guess, yeah, my product, my jars. This is quality control at its finest right here. Every single jar so that when you guys receive it in hand, you're like, dang, Alex made this jar with his hands out of love in his house. Did I mention with love and care? While live streaming. And I was on that live stream. That's funny. Good. Anybody watching the Premier League or like soccer? I know the season just started yesterday. Crazy game with Liverpool. That was nuts. I don't watch the games live, but I watch the highlights when I'm like eating. And that Liverpool game was nuts yesterday. And the last minute, Chiesa with the goal, and then Salah scored in like the last minute, the actual last minute of overtime, of additional time. Who we got? Shailene, we got Stacy, Dylan, Guy, Eze, Salaman, Nisio. Amin says, will what you make be exported all over the world, brother? Yeah, that's the goal. Absolutely. Yeah, I would definitely love to ship it internationally as well, and that's the plan. So it's going to be more expensive, obviously, to ship it overseas, but yeah, I should be able to make it happen. So no matter what part of the world you're from, whether you're in Algeria, Greece, Spain, Russia, and somewhere in Africa, if you're in South America, you should be able to get yourself a jar of organic clay. You should be good to go. It'll just cost more for shipping. We got sliders. Alejo. That's two people with the same name. Junior, Chris, Mika, Ramirez, Carolina, Pink Daisy. Yeah, you watched the game live yesterday? Nice. Yeah, it was a good game. Real good game. And I know Chelsea plays today. Man U plays today versus Arsenal. That's going to be a crazy game. Yeah, R.I.P. Diogo Jota. For sure. It's a shame. Is that good? All right, good to go. We've got Anna in the house. We got the resonator. We got the resonator in the house. That's funny. We've got George. We got FC. We've got Lubella. We've got Patasalas. How do I remove dry scalp? So what I actually do a lot of times is I use a salicylic acid cream or a lotion from CeraVe. So my girlfriend's a doctor, so I use salicylic acid because that's what she recommends, and it does a really good job. So if you can get your hands on some salicylic acid cream or lotion, it does a really good job with dry skin. And so you'll see that I put that on sometimes. I made a video about it as well on YouTube. I think last year it was about dandruff and seborrheic dermatitis, and then I mentioned the CeraVe lotion. I think it was the lotion that I mentioned. Is that good? Find where the little crevices. Good to go. Cool. Hani, Alexander, Anas, Ran, Greg Adams, Karan, or is that Kara? I don't know how to pronounce that. I've been growing out my hair for a month. Is that enough for a mullet? Nah, man, you're gonna need a lot more time than that. You're gonna need, for a mullet and for a nice mullet, you're gonna need at least 4 to 5 months of hair growth in the back to give yourself a nice mullet. That's why I don't do them too often, because it just takes a long time for them to grow out. And because I post content every 2 weeks, like new haircut videos, it's tough to, you know, think of new ideas for the haircut when I'm growing my hair out. So yeah, mullets take a handful of months to get it to actually like grow out, and then the hair flows in the back, which is what you're looking for a nice mullet. So you're looking at least 4 to 5 months of hair growth. But I love the mullet. Honestly, the mullet is definitely like a top 4 haircut for me. The mullet's definitely up there. Okay. RM says, how do I remove it while I don't buy stuff? Like dry skin? You gotta buy something, man. I mean, I would love to say diet in this realm, but dry skin is just dry skin. We all just, you know, not we all, but I suffer with dry skin, and no matter how clean and healthy that I eat, the skin, you know, my skin just naturally dries out, and it's normal. It is what it is, right? It's something that we can never really just cure. Just like seborrheic dermatitis, it just can't, you know, go away. We just have to live with it and control it the best that we can. And, you know, using certain type of lotions, like salicylic acid lotions, definitely help with the dry skin. We've got Terry. We've got Armando, Daniel, Duran. LVB said hi on the YouTube. What's up, LVB? We've got Ron Julius. He asks, I start cutting my own hair, but it's scary to go too high. Also, I don't see the back of my head, so I'm doing only Mohicans? What's a Mohican? That sounds like an alcoholic beverage. A Mohican. Let me get the Mohican, please. Bartender, Mohican? Let me get the Mohican. Yeah, when it comes to self haircuts, especially if you're still in a phase where you're like afraid, you have to keep it simple, man. You just have to keep it simple. The problem with most people, and I've been on social media for over 6 years now. The problem with most people, 5 years, 6 years, most people, they want to do the hardest self haircut without even ever touching a clipper. Like that's the worst thing you can do, is like do the most difficult, most challenging haircut that exists You want to do it right away. Why not just give yourself a very simple, like, beginner buzz cut? Or just like run a number 2 guard around the entire sides and back just to get like familiar with the clipper in your hand. Like, why does everyone want to be like the best after trying one time? That's why, like, I've been cutting my own hair for over 16 years. 16. That's more than half of my life. I'm 29. For 16 years, I've been cutting my own hair. I'm 29. That's more than 50% of my life I've been cutting my own hair. But most people, I get it, you know, time is of the essence, and not a lot people don't have as much time as they would like to because of work and life and all that. But believe me, when you keep it simple, especially in the beginning, that's where you really start to learn. Like, you have to fail in order to get better, but most people want to skip the failing stage. Like, what do you think I'm doing here right now? Like, I'm learning as I'm creating a brand new business, a brand new hair clay business. Like, I'm figuring, like, it's taken me like all year to get to this point where I'm at right now, and I still haven't even launched. Like, you got to become the person that can do the thing. You've got to become first. You can't be, you know, afraid all the time. You have to be okay with failing, right? Jesus said, be not afraid. Jesus told the ruler of the synagogue, be not afraid, when his daughter was dying at his house. And when she did die, he was like, why are you afraid? And then he ended up bringing her back to life anyway, right? Be not afraid. You know how many times? I think that was written in the Bible like 60 times. Be not afraid. Be not afraid. Be not afraid. Right? Fear. What are you fearful for? What's scary about it? It's scary because you're trying to do something too advanced for your current skill set. So what do you have to do? Work in increments. That's the solution. You work in increments. You can't jump too far over the hill and expect to land, you know, on your 2 feet. You're going to fall. You're going to stumble. Everyone wants to jump farther than they can leap. Let's keep it simple. Let's simplify life, all right? You know, let's be patient. We've got to be patient. Be patient and take your time. Just let life happen, right? Just love the journey. Love the journey. And just let life happen. Stop trying to rush everything. Take it slow and steady. At your own pace. You know, I know it feels like the small wins aren't big enough and cool enough, but believe me, it's what matters the most. It's the small wins that's, you know, that's what you have to really celebrate. Like right now, this is a big win for me. Even though I haven't launched, this is still a really big achievement, and I've learned a lot from it. I think it's in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 2. It says, my brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. Right? When you've got faith, the trials work patience. So the fact that you're scared is a good thing. The fact that you're scared to cut too high up your head is a good thing. Because why? The trial tests your faith, which works patience. Wisdom from the Bible. Vinny, Emil, what's up? What's up? Drop an eyebrow tutorial. I actually did. That was one of the first videos I ever posted. If you go on my YouTube channel, and click on like the date and just go back to the very like first videos that I made, an eyebrow tutorial was actually one of them. I think was it eyebrow or mustache? No, it was eyebrow. It was an eyebrow video because I remember the first like 10 seconds I made it very corny. But yeah, I definitely do have an eyebrow video. It's a little older, but it's there. Kim, congratulations. Thanks, Kim. I appreciate that. Francisco. We've got Tim in the house. We've got Purely Gold on YouTube says, can I do a number 3 guard all around the head? No fades or nothing to save money. Yeah, absolutely. That's Purely Gold right there. That's literally how I started cutting my own hair. When I first started, when I was 13, I gave myself this same exact buzz cut for about 4 to 5 years. So it was about a number 3 to a number 5 guard buzz cut all the way around my head. The sides, the back, the top, everything was the same exact length. And then I just used the trimmer to line myself up and my neck. And even like my brothers would help, my mom would help, like trim up the back of my head because I couldn't see it at the time. You know, I had a $20 Remington beard trimmer, which was awful. And that's what I used to give myself buzz cuts. So yeah, if you're looking to save money to, you know, by cutting your own hair, giving yourself simple buzz cuts all the way around and just lining yourself up with the trimmer is a fantastic way to just get started. Because barbers nowadays are charging, you know, ridiculous amounts of money for a haircut. And it's like, for what? Like, I'm sorry, but, you know, most people don't care about their hair like that much to pay $100 for a haircut. That's ridiculous. Right? You're better off just learning how to do it yourself. Because that's an extortionate price for a haircut. Like we're not multimillionaires here to pay $100 for a haircut. It's ridiculous. We got Alberto from Romania. Romania in the house. We've got Marco Spaseski. Create tutorial to do ice pick sideburns, please. Oh, ice pick sideburns. That's like Ronaldo in the early 2000s. Yeah, Ronaldo did that. The ice pick sideburns. That was Ronaldo's thing when he was at Man U the first time around. Eric says, I want your beautiful eyes. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, you know, I was actually born with blue eyes. I was born with bright blue eyes, like super bright blue eyes. And then they, over the years, they just like gradually transitioned into this green color. So now I've got green eyes. So they started out as blue, and now they're green. And my cousins in Greece have the same exact eye color. It's like a teal green. And you know what? Even my cousins in Portugal have blue eyes. No, their eyes are actually similar. Yeah. There's a couple of them. I skipped your comment. What comment? Did I? Oh, I guess I did. What's your favorite haircut? My favorite haircut? Honestly, it's probably like it's probably something similar in length to the top that I have right now. Maybe a little bit longer with a really nice mid fade and the Italian beard fade. I think the super textured quiff video that I did a couple weeks ago, that beard fade and that hairstyle looks really nice. So something along those lines. Even the one that said how to fade men's hair with the navy blue shirt, that YouTube video, I really like that haircut. I really like that one. That one might be my favorite. But I'm also really big. I love crew cuts. Buzz cuts are definitely up there, but they're not my favorite. My first self haircut was a mid skin fade with an 8 on top. Yeah, yeah, that's kind of like a solid crew cut right there. We got Vanilla, we've got Christian, we've got Ali in the chat. You've got Haska G on TikTok here. All right, I got 2 left over here. And then I can grab some more from my box right here. How's that? Good? Nice. All right, last one right here. Where's the crease? Crease goes on the side. But those are some great questions. Really nice questions about self haircuts. If there's one thing that you wish you knew right now about cutting your own hair, or one mistake that you keep repeatedly getting, or I guess doing, what's the number one mistake that you're facing right now? And I'll see if I can answer your question. Oh, that one was that's a super clean jar. There's no lines on this one. Wow. Cool. Yeah, the jar didn't have any creases on it. All right, so let's grab these. Check this out. There we are. A full tray worth of labeled jars, ready to be filled. Good to go. You see that? We're good to go here. And I've got like 4 other ones over there. Okay, how do I want to do about this one? Is this the bottom here? Let's get this out of here. Okay. Let's remove these and put them over here. So let's do this, because I'm going to put these in the boxes. Cool. Okay. So now I can grab the other jars from the box, just wipe down the sides, wipe down the bottom, get them prepped for labels. It's like this is the ultimate behind the scenes of how I'm building this business. So you guys can see the level of standard that I have is very high. I've got a very high standard of quality with my work and my businesses. So whether it's my course, my 14-day course, whether it's my book that I wrote, whether it's, my actual content on social media, and now the brand new Kuras brand, the company that I'm building. You can see I'm a man of high standards, so I have to make sure that everything is right. You could say it's OCD. You could see it's I'm crazy, but I've just got a very high tolerance or a high standard you know, for the things that I do. I don't want, that's why on my jar I've got a Bible verse, and it says it's the First Corinthians chapter 10 verse 31. It says, "Whether therefore ye eat or drink or whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of God." So everything that I do for the glory of God. So that's a Bible verse that's on the side of the label. And that's something that I represent. I represent God. We all represent God. So I'm here to glorify God in every way possible. With everything that I do it to glorify God. Even live streaming, glorifying God. Because he deserves it. Alex, favorite fragrance? That's a great question. I'm not very big on fragrances because I get like sick from them. So I talked about this yesterday on the live as well, and part of the reason why I don't have fragrances in my product is because I get, one, they're endocrine disrupting, so they affect your hormones negatively. And as nowadays everyone's like super fidgety with everything because their hormones are all out of whack because the food in the food industry is garbage. We have endocrine disruptors everywhere we go, from the fragrances, the things that we smell, the things that we eat, the things that we just allow on or in our body. They're all disrupting our hormones and messing up our emotions and how we feel throughout the day. So I'm not very big on fragrances. I think they're especially, they're toxic. That's the fact. They are toxic. And so that's why for my products, I only use essential oils. So I use a rosemary essential oil. It's a very light aroma and it's very calming and soothing. So this is the actual color of the product itself. It matches the color of the label. So I did my best to match the label color to the product color, right? It's like a pale yellowy, pearl color, like a white yellow color. And it's a very soft, light aroma of rosemary oil, which I really like. Is that it? I think that's it for this box. All right, so now we can start putting these in. But in terms of fragrance that my girlfriend likes on me, which I don't use anymore because I get sick. I literally get sick and like my throat starts to clog up and I just feel nasty. Yeah, like it disrupts my hormones and my endocrine disruptor and I get sick. Um, it's a Prada. It's a Prada Black, I think it's called. I think it's called Prada Black. It was like a gift that my girlfriend's grandma gave me for Christmas a couple years ago. It was like $150 perfume. Not perfume. Men don't wear perfume. Cologne. All right. I'm just putting these jars over here inside the box so I have them stored and ready to be filled. Okay, I can put a couple more in this one before I close it up. Yeah, I can fit a couple more. Okay. Joyce says, "Sprechen Sie the Deutsch, bro?" That's so funny. Nah, man, I don't speak Deutsch, German. I speak English. I speak the English, and I speak the Spanish. I speak the English and I speak the Spanish. I don't sprechen Sie the Deutsch. Sprechen Sie the Deutsch. I crack myself up. That's funny. There we go. Put you in there. Mike says, essential oils can cause skin irritations. Be careful. I can't put that directly on skin. Yeah, but that's why you have to dilute it to the correct percentage. So it has to be less than like 5% of the product, and otherwise it will be an irritant. But that's also why you don't buy essential oil and put it directly on your skin. It needs to be mixed with like a fatty oil in order for it to be like well diluted, and the concentration gets dispersed evenly throughout the product. So if you put essential oil directly on your skin, yeah, it's definitely going to be an irritant, especially if you use a large amount, because it's so potent and it's so pure. So yeah, you have to dilute it with, for me, it's shea butter, it's arrowroot powder, it's the beeswax. When you have all these like fatty, like thick solids, it mixes with the rosemary oil, and then it, dilutes it and separates it perfectly to the point where, it minimizes any risk of being an irritant. So there's a lot of science behind it. There's a lot of science behind it. So you just have to know the percentages of what you can, put inside. But that was a great question. That was a great question, Mike. And a great concern as well. It's a good concern, definitely. Cool. All right. And I can fit one more inside the box. We've got Cristino. Oh, I moved it. Cristino. We've got Prati. We've got Luigi. We've got Zaina. We've got, I don't know how to say some of these names. David. Kimmy the banker's in the house. What you know about the banking industry, Kimmy? Eric says, I speak Mexican. You do not speak Mexican. Mexican's not a language. You speak it as Spanish. Okay, last one. Cool. So now what I can do is put the little piece of cardboard back on top and then start laying down the other ones, which I can do to open up another. One sec. To open up another stainless steel tray. Right? Here we go. I've got your order. Did somebody order 40 Kuras organic clay jars? Opa, chill out. Relax there, Alex. Alright, let's put these guys inside the box. What's in the box? What's in the box? Okay, now I have a free tray. Let me grab one more here. Put that, oh, missed. I'm not Kobe. I'm not bowling. Bowling. Where'd it go? Ugh. I need a couple more. Uno más. Está bien. Telios. Good. You can put more on there. Let me see. What's up, Alex, Esteban, Joel, Sandro? Organizing the boxes over here, so when the time comes for me to start filling, I've got everything nice and organized. And then I can do, so I've got another tray here that I can use. Let's grab one more. Oh, this is the last one. Let's grab the last one. Somebody order some organic clay jars. Anyone? Anyone order organic clay jars? No? Alright, I guess it's just all for me. Let's put these guys in the box. Okay, that's a full box there. Let's go ahead and close this up. Good. And then let's throw these on here as well. I'll get to your questions in just a sec. I've got to take care of these real quick. Almost done. I can probably put a handful of those in there. Good. All right, now we've got another tray, completely free and open. And that was the last tray. Good. What's going on, everyone? We've got Did Barberia Maluquinho. Do you cut your brother's hair? Actually, I don't anymore. Yeah, no, you can probably see a bunch of my haircuts that I gave my brother over the years. Yeah, no, he cuts his own hair now. But both of my brothers cut their own hair now. Yeah, I don't cut my brother's hair anymore. He cuts his own hair. I only cut my dad's hair still. Yeah, my dad's the only one that I actually cut his hair still. But he only gets a haircut every, so often. He doesn't get haircuts nearly as frequently as I do. Where's the line? There it is. Looks good. All right. Put that one in the box. Let's grab another one. What's up, Hunter? Yasin? Arce Silao? Hunter says, hey, bro. What's up, Hunter? Suleiman says, bro, you got any video from Mustache? Yeah, I do, don't I? If you go on YouTube and you check the box that says, like, date and go back to the very first videos that I made, I have a video on how I do my mustache, which is, it's a 5-year-old video, yes, but it is still pretty similar to what I do today. So what I do is I just use really small, like $5 scissors, like maybe 3 to 4. I just trim the upper part of my mustache. I trim the bottom portion of my mustache, both using the small scissors, and then I'll like blend the edge of my mustache in with the beard a little bit. And when you cut, make sure you don't go too high on the bottom, because then it's going to look really weird. So you have to cut it directly on the line of where your lip is. But yeah, if you go on my YouTube channel, you'll see a video of a mustache tutorial there. It's a little on the older side, but it's still good. And it has good views. So a lot of people like it. Okay, looks good. How many is it? 2, 4, 6, 8? Is that 8? So I need like 7 more. And don't forget, we're launching Organic Clay, my brand new company, Kuras, and our first product, Organic Clay. We're launching on next Tuesday, August 26th. You can get yourself a jar next Tuesday, August 26th. All right, it's a high hold matte finish, 100% all natural hair product with only 6 ingredients. 6 all natural ingredients. Let me read them for you. We've got shea butter, arrowroot powder, beeswax, kaolin clay, rosemary essential oil, and vitamin E oil. So there's only 6 ingredients, and I have it in my hair right now, styled my hair, and we're good to go. There it is. Mark the date on your calendars. There's limited stock, as you guys can see. I'm working on it right now. There's limited stock. So if you want to get yourself a jar before we run out, mark the date on your calendar, Tuesday, August 26th, and get yourself a jar before we run out. So you gotta be quick with it. Like that commercial with the old man and the fishing rod. You gotta be quicker than that. You gotta be quicker than that. So yeah. This product is a hair treatment and styler all in one. So it's a 2-in-1 treatment for your hair and a styler for your hair. So if you guys want to have a hair healthy alternative other than the toxic garbage that's being sold in CVS or Walmart or Target, even on Amazon, these people have literally $30 hair products, like for styling products, and they're just loaded with toxic ingredients like petroleum, alcohol, PEGs, like names that no one knows how to pronounce, like phenylhexylglycerin monoxidil something. You know, they're just like crazy names that you don't even know how to pronounce because they're you know, scientific and made in a lab, and they're not actually natural from the earth. There's phthalates, there's sulfates, there's gluten, there's dyes which are banned in Europe that are in our hairstyling products. So all of that, all of those things that are toxic for our hair are we're literally putting in our hair on the daily. So this product is not that. This product is a hair healthy option that is meant to make your hair healthier when you put it on your hair, right? Time. So it's meant to be hair healthy instead of hair toxic. Hair healthy, not hair toxic. Right? That's why the motto is your hair's new best friend. Because this will be your hair's new best friend. Right? Kuras. My brand Kuras will be your hair's new best friend. And whatever products I make in the future are meant to be very good and healthy for your hair. Because I'm tired of everything nowadays is just corporation big hair, not people. It's like it's not for the people, right? You will never see a big hair company. You will never see the owner of a big hair company jump on a live stream on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram and manually put labels on their jars. Right? They're too above that because they're all about the money. And they don't care about your health, and they never did. They never did. Just like the food industry and the pharmaceutical industry. I mean, pharmaceuticals, whatever. The insurance industry definitely doesn't care. I hear horror stories because my girlfriend's a doctor. Insurance companies really screw people over. So yeah, the big corporate systems don't care about your health. So it's in our hands to take our health back because they took it from us. And that's what Kuras is all about. Bringing health back to hair. Your hair's new best friend. What's up, Alba, Adiev, Mahi? We've got T. We've got Eric. The final result. Yep. I love your bottled water, yellow orange. Yeah, of course, man. This is a stainless steel flask, so it keeps my water nice and room temp or cold or hot, whatever you want it to be. The weather doesn't affect it. All right, one more, and that's it for this section of the box. We've got Paul in the house. We've got Theo in the house. We've got Hashemi in the house. Welcome to the live. Good. All right, that's it. Where's the, I can close these guys up now. Did I have another thing here? No. Cool. I got a full box now of jars, so I can open up a new one. Nice. All right, good to go here. We are good to go here. Let's put this back on, close this guy up. All right. This box has finished jars. Finished jars there. That's trash. We're good. What time is it? 10:20? I'm gonna probably head out at 11 so I can go eat. Okay, let me get this other box here. Take out the plastic or whatever that is, and then we can get these jars going. All right, let's just refill this guy here. Wait, a little bit more. Good. All right. What other questions we have? What other questions we have? Purely Gold says, is a number 3 buzz cut all overhead good for beginner cut? You already asked that. I answered that. Yeah, I said yes. It's a good beginner haircut. Number 3 buzz, definitely. And just do a little trimmer action on the lineup, and that's it. You'll literally be done within 15 minutes. Yeah, it'll be like a 15-minute haircut. So you save, I don't know, between $30 to $100 on a haircut, and it only took you 15 minutes, and you never had to leave your house. That's a win-win. We've got Mark in the house, Juan, Uncle of Wool Sandals. We've got Callan, Jag, Alejandro. We've got Simone. Welcome to the live. My Wi-Fi went out, so I didn't get the response. Yeah, no worries, bro. No problem. Wi-Fi bugs. They charge $40 to $45 for a haircut. Are you serious? Yeah, dude. This is why my work is necessary. This is why I'm necessary here. $45 for a haircut, bro. Are you serious? Like, when you factor in the average income of most people and most families, especially, you know, in America, the average like household income in America is like $70,000. So when you factor in $45 haircuts, and then you have to tip them, and then you have to spend, you know, gas to get there and to get home, and then you have to like tolls too if they get on the highway. And then you gotta wait in the waiting room because they're currently cutting someone else's hair. You gotta wait for them, your turn. And it's like, how much time, how much money are you actually spending just to get your hair cut? It's so much time. It's so much time. Let me grab the other one here real quick. Some of these might need to be cleaned on the inside. Yeah, like this one needs to be cleaned on the inside. This one cleaned on the inside. Cleaned on the inside. And these are brand new microfiber towels, so they're nice and clean. Are these good? This one needs a little bit. Those are fine. Okay. Let's do a little bit more. This might be the last set before I go have lunch. And then I'll probably jump back on the live later this afternoon at some point. You know, I was supposed to go fishing today because I like fishing. I just started fishing with my girlfriend's cousin. You know, it's fun because I just started learning Spanish. Well, not just, you know, I've been learning Spanish for the past couple years. Every single day I've been hopping on the Duolingo for about 5 to 10 minutes. And my girlfriend's whole family and her cousins, they don't speak English at all. So it's a really awesome opportunity to like practice speaking Spanish with everyone. And my Spanish is really good because I've been learning for 1,070 days straight. So that's what, almost 3 years. That's a little under, it's like 2.5 years I've been on Duolingo learning Spanish. So my Spanish is really good. I wouldn't say I'm fluent necessarily, but I'm definitely like partly fluent, which is really cool. And it's so weird being a 29-year-old, like a grown adult, learning a language and actually like being able to hold conversations. You know, it's not like I was born knowing how to speak Spanish. I don't know why these jars have dirt on the inside. Why is there dust on the inside of these jars? We've got Alan. We've got Elad. We've got Jerome Hill. We've got Ryan. We've got Yule. Yule! We got Yule. I can't wait for the day here in Florida where it starts to get cooler and I can actually have the garage open and have some cool, fresh breeze. Because right now it's like really hot outside. And I got the fan on, keep me cool, cooler. It's still pretty hot. I think I missed a couple here. Can you use clippers the same as you cut your hair to do your beard and mustache? Yeah, absolutely. What? I use my clipper for my mustache. I usually do like a 1.5 guard for my mustache, lever closed or lever halfway. And then for my beard, yeah, absolutely. For your whole facial hair, your whole head of hair, clippers and trimmers all the way. Yeah, you don't change it up. And I'm usually always cutting against the grain too. So I'm always cutting against the grain. All right, is that it? I think that's the most I can put here. Here, let's get these trays down. Let's put these in. Let's put the trays right there. That should be fine. Okay. Greg says, here in New York City, every time they go up Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, $40, $50. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, because life is getting really expensive, and the only way that they can, it's kind of like a catch-22, where people can't, like, they know that people can't cut their own hair, and so they're like, well, now they're kind of trapped into using me, their barber, to cut their own hair if they want a haircut, right? If they want a haircut, they have no other choice but to come and see me, their barber, and pay my price. Otherwise, they're going to have to find a new barber or learn how to do it themselves, which most barbers don't think that, ordinary, normal people are going to be willing to cut their own hair. But that's why my channel does, as well as it does, and why there's so much hype around cutting your own hair, because people recognize, like, yo, why is my barber, who was charging $30 last week, now charging $50? Like, because they've got bills to pay too, but it's just like the percentage of increase is not congruent with inflation. It's just not. Now, I understand the cost of the dollar has dropped by like 25% in the past 5 years, which is terrible. So yeah, there's like a 25% inflation on that, and then there's like a 100% inflation on real estate. So yeah, I understand life in general is ridiculously more expensive than what it has been. Every single year it gets way worse, but charging extortionate rates for a haircut is just like, bro, that's too much. So we need to start learning how to be more self-sufficient and cut our own hair if we're trying to make it alive out here and thrive. It's not just make it out alive, and we need to thrive. Like God literally said, the first words that he said to man when he created man was, and God blessed them, and he said, multiply and increase. Multiply and increase. That's not just, I'm getting by. I'm barely trotting along. God said to multiply and increase and subdue and have dominion over everything on earth. So we're literally, we were created to be absolute, like, we were created to be the godliness on earth, to represent God and to be abundant. We're not here to lack or be fearful. We're here to be abundant. So, you know, I understand it can be tough, and life is definitely really tough right now. But we've got to keep a positive mind and think outside the box, because the goal is to thrive. The goal is to grow and continually grow and become more. All right, I think we're ready to put these labels on now. Let me do that one after. Okay. But yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts how much haircuts cost nowadays. It's nuts. Good to go. Actually, I need that one tray back. Let's get one out of here. Let's put those there. Okay, now we're good. We've got Rapero, NTV, we've got Bellarucci, we've got Gladson, we've got Game of the Week, Dominic, we've got NQQQU gone. you guys have some funny names, man. I don't know where you guys are creative, I'll tell you that. You guys are definitely creative. Definitely creative. Good to go. I've been cutting. The Don says I've been cutting my own hair for 6 months because of you. Nice. I still struggle with the hair with the hard line between maybe 1 to 2 guards, but it really comes out well. Nice. Yes, sir. No, that's great. And yeah, I mean, if you're struggling with the hard line, you got to play around with the lever a little bit. Probably use I don't know if you have the 1.5 guard, but the 1.5 guard helps a lot. What you can also do is put in the guidelines with the lever halfway. You can try doing that as well. Put in the guidelines with the lever halfway, and then if you're still having a hard time getting rid of the lines, just close the lever or just drop it down a little bit and just adjust it right at the hard line. Really, it's like those little micro adjustments in the lever really do make such a big impact. And then what you can also do is the reverse thinning shear method, which is the method that I've coined and discovered while cutting my own hair, which is just using your thinning shears, holding them in reverse, so you put your pinky where your thumb is supposed to be, and you point cut directly at the hard lines in your fade. And that usually gets rid of it really helps with the gradients of the haircut. So if you haven't already, definitely check out my, any video that I've made all year. You'll see the reverse thinning shear method in my tutorials on YouTube. That's a fantastic way to make the fades more blurry, more gradient, and to remove any bulky areas or hard lines. Oh, that one was super nice. Man. That one was super good. That was one of the straightest ones I've done. That was really good. We've got hello. Your haircut tutorial videos are great and helpful for practice. It's a great fade tutorial. Thanks, I appreciate that. And I'm glad it's helpful for you. I'm glad you're able to learn how to cut your own hair. You know, watching my tutorials and just, learning this skill is very important to know, especially nowadays. So it makes me feel really nice to hear that. Thank you so much. I'm gonna do Duolingo too because she don't even speak English. He said, "My girl don't even speak English." He said, "If the only way I can find me a wife is if I find me a wife outside of America. She don't even speak English." That's hilarious, dude. That was funny. I was not expecting that. Yeah, I know you see it's a lot more common nowadays. A lot of dudes, and a lot of I think women too. People are just leaving the Western world, America, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland. They're just leaving these countries and just going to like Colombia or Spain or Portugal or wherever and looking for, relationships elsewhere because people in America are so all about career driven and business and money and whatever that they don't even want to have family, kids. Their personalities are just all types of wonky. Again, I really believe that a lot of people's personalities are all types of wonky nowadays because of endocrine disrupting foods, fragrances, chemicals. Yeah, obviously a lot of stuff you see on social media, and social media too much of it's definitely harmful and brainwashes people. But the Western world's definitely taking massive L's in the relationship department. I mean, you see the fertility rate globally has been drastically plummeting. Like we're literally below the replenishing rate of 2.1 births per woman, which is terrible. Yeah, the population's definitely getting smoked right now, and it has been for many years. And it's a big part of it is life is too expensive. When you don't have money, when you don't have abundance of money or leftover money every month, you don't feel comfortable enough to have children, to have a house, all that stuff. It really is a shame. Do you have a beard? I would think so. Yeah, I would definitely think so. Yes, I do have a beard. What guard is best for buzz cut if you only have 1 through 5? I mean, dude, it's personal preference at that point. What's your preferred hair length? Like whenever I do buzz cuts, for example, I like to do probably a number 2 or a number 3 guard. Right? I feel like the number 2 or the number 3 guard is a really solid length for me. Now, for you, it might be different. For you, it might be a 5 or a 7 or a 1. So, whatever hair length you prefer. But yeah, you're definitely gonna need the half guard and the 1.5 guard if you want to give yourself nice fades. Unless you're just looking to give yourself a number 4 or 3 all the way around your head and that's it. then you don't need those, the half and the 1.5 guard. Otherwise, I highly recommend it. If you're trying to give yourself a fade, highly recommend getting those 2 guards if you don't have them. You know, it just makes the world of a difference. Clean. Let's go. We've got Ali in the house. We've got Costa in the house. We've got Adma, Am in the house. Salvo, Franco, Justin, Yasin. We've got Giamma. Welcome to the stream. I'm just sitting here putting labels on all of my jars for the launch of my brand new company, Kuras, and our first product, Organic Clay, which is a high hold matte finish, all natural, 100% all natural, 6 ingredient high hold matte finish hair product, which is a 2-in-1. It's a hair treatment and a hair styler at the same exact time. So it treats your hair and styles it at the same exact time. If you guys want to learn more about the actual product, all the ingredients, I'll read the list of ingredients for you guys. The 6 ingredients are shea butter, unrefined shea butter, so it's the higher quality, better version that isn't stripped of its oils and smells and color as well. So it's unrefined, so it's the higher quality version of shea butter. Organic arrowroot powder, beeswax, yellow beeswax, kaolin clay, rosemary essential oil, and vitamin E oil. Those are the 6 ingredients. If you want to check out all the hair health benefits of each of these 6 ingredients, you can just go over to my website, kuras.com, KOVRAS.com, and check out all the ingredients. I also have linked for each ingredient a scientific study that was done that showcases just how beneficial each ingredient is for your hair. So all of that's found on my website, right? The most transparent hair brand you will possibly find. I've got scientific data literally linked on my website to show just how beneficial the ingredients that I'm using in my product, how beneficial these are for your hair and for your hair's health. So there's no toxic anything in these products. It's all hair healthy, good for your hair, and it styles it, giving you the style that you want at the same exact time. So check it out on my website, kuras.com. Launching next Tuesday, August 26th. Next Tuesday, mark the date on your calendar. Next Tuesday, August 26th. We're almost like halfway done this batch here. Okay. We've got Yanni Kyriakis in the live, all the way from Greece, I assume. We've got Salvo Milan. We've got Prince Loco. We've got Lisa. We've got Fahim in the chat. Welcome to the live. Welcome, welcome. Let me answer some other questions. In my opinion, anything above $25 is nuts for a haircut and beard. $25 is a good price, I think. $25 in 2025 is a solid price for a haircut. Da, 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 da. Greg says, awesome channel, Alex. You're very inspirational. I want to be able to cut hair like you, man. Absolutely. Yeah, just keep following along with the tutorials, keep practicing, keep putting in the work every single day. You've got to just be practicing. Make sure you have the correct tools, right? I have the tools linked in my description as well. Make sure you have the right mirror setup. All right, you need good quality mirror setup. Make sure you have the right lights, right? 5000K LED lights to help you see everything nice and clear. So you got to set yourself up for success. And all of the stuff that it costs to cut your own hair, you're looking at like $130. So it's really affordable for all the tools, all the lights, all the mirror setup, everything. Like 130 bucks. And my Amazon storefront link is linked as well. So just click on like my link tree in the description or my bio, and you'll have access to my Amazon storefront where I have all the products that I recommend, all the tools that I recommend for self haircuts. Okay. He says, literally every 3 to 4 months, the price keeps raising. That's crazy. Yeah. Every 3 to 4 months, your barber's increasing the price of their haircuts. Yeah, because see what I'm saying? Everyone's just in a rush. Everyone's just feeling the hurt of the economy. We are definitely in a massive recession. We are definitely in like a depression, if anything, with how things just keep rapidly becoming more expensive. The prices of everything just keeps changing so quickly. Like everybody's charging way too much money for what it's actually worth. It's just like nothing. It feels like nothing's really worth it anymore. Right? You go to Amazon, you go to Target, you go to Walmart, you go to CVS, you go to Walgreens, and you look to buy a hairstyling product, and it's loaded with toxic ingredients. There's like 50 ingredients, and half of them are terrible for your hair. And then you wonder why you've got scalp problems and and irritants all throughout your body, and like your skin and your scalp's just messed up, your hair's thinning, all these problems, and it's like, yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why. I wonder why. We're being duped. And that's what I'm here to solve. I'm here to solve the corruption and the duption. The duption of big hair. Selling literally jars that cost them 10 cents to make and selling them for like 30 bucks with their toxic ingredients and their plastic containers. Like that's how you know that these companies really just don't care about you, putting their products in plastic. Like the only way I will accept plastic jars is if it's like a $5 product. Otherwise, you should be using higher quality products: silicone, glass, aluminum, stainless steel. Right? What other high quality materials for jars? Plastic. What are you using plastic for? And then charging a premium for your plastic toxic product. All right. We keep it moving. Yeah, trapped into a subscription service lifeline, basically. And most barbers don't want to inform them to cut their own hair. Well, yeah, I mean, no. Do you know how many people that are barbers that are just, they just have the wrong mindset about life? Again, like they think of life from a scarcity mindset. Like everything is, it's like the world is one big pie, and if somebody else has a piece of the pie, then that means that I don't get it. So they have a fear lack mentality. They have a lacking mentality. They do not have an abundance mindset. Right? There's literally more than enough. You think God didn't create an earth that had more than enough for everyone? Like most people, well, not most people, but some of these people that think like that, they really have the wrong mentality. And that's why you feel like you're being screwed, because you are. Because they are screwing you because they don't understand what's actually going on Earth and how everything was created and meant to be. Right? Nobody likes that mentality. Nobody likes that mentality. We need to have an abundance mentality. You know, barbers comment. There's some barbers that comment. You know what I saw the other, was it last week? So I've got an affiliate. He's a barber, an affiliate for my product, right? I've got an affiliate. I sent him out the jar, and he started promoting my product. And a barber commented on the video that he had promoting my product, and he was like, "Why are you promoting this guy who teaches people how to cut their own hair? Why are you promoting his brand? Why are you promoting him and his product?" And I read that, and I was just like, wow, these barbers are so insecure about their skill sets. And then the barber that I have as an affiliate, he was like, because if he's got a good product and people want this product because it's helpful for them, I'm going to promote something that's good for the people. I was like, and then I commented with the fire emoji. I was like, exactly. So there's plenty of people in this world that have a victim mentality, that think that the world is out to get them and they have no opportunity to do anything. And so what they do as a solution is to try to make other people feel bad and like hurt other people to make themselves feel good. Which is such a pity, you know? I pity them. It's a shame. I pray for them. I pray that they, you know, God gives them the wisdom. I pray that God gives them the wisdom. But they have to seek it. They got to seek the wisdom. Otherwise, they're not going to get it. Right? If you don't want to be, keyword be, if you don't want to be better, you will not be able to. You got to want it. You got to have the intention, the desire to be better. And too many people out here are making life more difficult than it needs to be. Sirkan, P-Bass, Myros, Official, Kobe, Sanji. We got Alfie. What's going on? How we all doing on this beautiful Sunday? The day of the Lord. All right, I only have like, I think 10 left, give or take. Not much. And then I'm off to have lunch. I see a lot of them with chains as well. Yeah, you know what? That's so true. That's such a good point. You'll see so many barbers increase their price from like 30 to 60 overnight out of nowhere. And then the next week they have like a $2,000 gold chain on, and like Gucci belts and Gucci shoes, and like it's just like what a shamil, dude. What a shamil. But it's all right. It's all good. Believe me, it is all good. Don't even pay it any mind. It's all good. Right? The people that believe me, God sees everything. God sees and hears everything behind closed doors and in front of closed doors. God sees and hears it all. So I wouldn't even worry about it, brother. Just find yourself either a new barber that is less expensive, or learn how to cut your own hair, right? I've got a course. If my YouTube videos aren't enough, I also have a course which is very affordable, and I've helped hundreds of people learn how to cut their own hair through my course. It's a 14-day course. If you want to check that out, it's also linked in my link tree, which you can find in my description or my bio. Hold up. Hold up. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's funny, man. Barbers, it's the industry itself as a whole has it's definitely flawed in many regards. There's definitely a lot of flaws within the barbering industry. Personalities, the culture, right? The music, the clothing, the vocabulary. There's a lot of flaws within the barbering industry, but there's also a lot of really good things as well, obviously. And I think overall there's definitely more good things than not. All right, we got 5 left. 5 left. How long did you do buzz cuts yourself before transitioning or progressing to other haircuts? So I mentioned it earlier in the stream again, but I'll say it again. Um, when I started cutting my own hair, I was 13. Now just think about that for a second. 13. We're talking, what, 7th grade in middle school? Right? 13. I wasn't even in high school. I was literally in 7th or 8th grade in middle school. So think about that. And then I did that until right around senior year in high school. So for about 4 to 5 years, I just gave myself the same buzz cuts with a little trim lineup for about 4 to 5 years. So for 4 to 5 years, I gave myself the same exact haircut. And it wasn't until I was around 17, 18 years old that I started to transition into more difficult haircuts, let my hair grow out more and just try fading, using more guards and all that. So I did, it was a very long, long journey for me. Very long journey. I've been cutting my own hair for 16 years. 16. I started in 2008. And a lot of people nowadays, they see my content and they're just like, I tried it one time and I'm not a professional yet, so I quit. Like, what kind of mentality is that? Like, it took me, like, I literally gave myself the most beginner haircut you could possibly give yourself for 4 to 5 years straight before I tried to advance and do something more difficult. Like, just let that sink in. I didn't skip the process. I didn't try to force the journey. Too many people nowadays want to force the journey and skip the process. But you cannot lose when it's your time to win. Right? It is ordained by God. You cannot lose when it's your time to win. When it is your time to win, you cannot lose. So it's in your best interest to become the person. And however long that takes you to become the person is however long you've got to do it for. What's up, Rocket, Remy, Anthony? Kevin says, is the Kuras clay your own company? I couldn't find many reviews. Yes, it is my company. You haven't found any reviews because I have yet to launch. So what I'm doing is launching the brand and my first product, Organic Clay, on Tuesday, August 26th, which is in about a week and a half. So the company is my company. I started it. I'm the sole owner and operator. You can check it out, kuras.com. But we're launching the actual company as a whole next Tuesday. Not this Tuesday, next Tuesday, August 26th. And so we've only got one product for now, which is my Organic Clay. I've got it right here. This is my high hold matte finish product. All natural, 100% all natural. There's only 6 ingredients. High hold, matte finish. I have it in my hair right now. Right? I've got it in my hair right now. Styled and nice and nice like ice. Right? Matte finish, high hold. All day hold too. Comes out of your hair really easily in the shower. Smells like rosemary essential oil. Very light aroma. Right? The color is exactly the same as the label. You can see, I'll just show each camera individually. YouTube, the light looks a little bit dim for some reason. But it's got a very light rosemary aroma, which is, it's perfect. It smells so nice. Why'd I just put that there? It's not an empty jar. Okay, last one. So yeah, hopefully you'll see some good reviews when the product launches and people start using it. I'm noticing now it must be, yeah. I'm putting the labels on all the jars. But we've got limited stock. We've got limited stock, you guys. So if you're interested and you want to have a treatment and a styler at the same exact time, I highly recommend you get yourself a jar before we run out, because I don't know how quickly we will run out. And that's the last one. That's the last one for now. Boom. Right? Amber glass jar, 2 ounce amber glass jar. We're putting 60 grams in each jar. So there's a big weight difference between the one that's full and the one that's empty. Massive weight difference. So you're getting, and I fill these guys up almost to the brim. Like, I'm not putting it at the little cutoff line. I'm putting it higher than the cutoff line. So you're getting even more product than what the jar can even hold. So I gotta, I gotta do it right. You guys, I put a little extra in there just for you. No skimps around here. We're not skimps McGee. Hey, look at this. Just keep it going. We're still going. We're still going. Check it out. There it is. That's all we did this morning. Probably like what? 100 jars? I probably did about 100 jars, give or take. So let's throw that off to the side. Any last questions before I get going? I'll probably jump back on later in the afternoon. I don't know, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. after I let my phones charge. You know, eat. Maybe I'll watch some of the soccer game. I think Manchester United plays Arsenal in like 20 minutes. So I'll probably watch a little bit of that because it's the opening game of the season for them. And then you already know they're going to be fighting to win because they're both really good teams. Um, what's it called? All right, let me just answer these last few questions here. Yeah, chains, Teslas, crazy watches. I remember me and another person were waiting. He said $45 3 months ago. It was 30. We called them out. Dipped learning to cut the best. Cut it. Did we cut? We you left and cut. Okay, learning to cut is the best. Yeah. How much is it for your 14-day course? So we have two options. We've got Elite and we have VIP. Elite is 97, I believe, and VIP is 197. And there's literally like if you just go on the website, just click on my link tree and then click on the actual website and look at the what you get for each of the courses. There's a lot of really high quality information, and just things that help you learn your hair really fast. So it's literally a 14-day course. Within 2 weeks, you can get through all of it. And then for VIP, which I think is the really special one, which is why it's priced at double, is there's over 70 full length self haircut tutorials. So you guys don't see this, but when I actually cut my hair, you know, I leave the full length video and I put it in a Google Drive. Well, I put it on YouTube first, and then I put it in a Google Drive, and then make a list of every single link for the VIPs. So when you're a VIP member, you can literally access what 4 years worth of self haircuts. Every time I cut my hair, every 2 weeks, I do this. VIP has access to every single full length tutorial. So when I actually cut my hair, I'm actually like teaching at the same exact time. But you guys don't see that because you guys see the edited YouTube version. So the full length is literally given to VIP. So that's why there's like, you know, a much higher price or double the price, because you're getting literally incredible like nuggets every single tutorial of every single haircut that I've ever given myself on like YouTube. So there's you know, it's a really high, plus you get my book as well, my ebook, and I think my audio book too. So there's so much really high quality information that you can just, you know, digest over time. So it's a really great course. How can I trim my 2 eyebrows in between where there is no tiny hair uncut? Wait, what? How can I trim my 2 eyebrows in between where there is no tiny hair uncut? Like your unibrow? What I do is just use like, I get little scissors. So I have like $5 little 4-inch scissors. The blades are like maybe 2 or 3 inches. So they're just really tiny, and you can just have a lot of accuracy and control. So I just use them and just cut in between, and then I cut the top line, cut the corner right in here. I don't really touch the bottom line. I kind of leave the bottom line alone, and I just trim the top parts. Is the last one I think I'll answer here. Kevin says, will the clay be available on Amazon for international Canada orders? It won't be on Amazon right away. It's a good question. But because I'm a one-man team for now, it's only going to be on TikTok Shop and my personal website. So the goal, of course, is to put it on Amazon as well. But there's so much work involved for one person to like run this and get it off the ground, that Amazon, I was just like, I want to do it, but I can't do it right now. It's just too much work. So if you want to get my product, I will personally ship it to you, like myself here. There's no like distributing center here, and I will ship it to Canada. The only thing is, of course, because it's Canada, it's international, so you will have to pay more for the shipping. So if you're cool with that, then it's all good. But at some point, we will be on Amazon. That's the goal, right? That's the goal. Appreciate it. I'll check your website out when it launched. Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Kevin. Tuesday, August 26th. All right, you guys. That's it for now. I'll probably be back in like a couple hours, right? 2, 3 o'clock Eastern time. and continue what I'm doing here. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys later.